Okay, it's good because Bitcoin is in the strongest, most clearly defined uptrend of all the markets at this point. Actually, I will caveat that by saying gold and silver are also in clearly defined uptrends as well. But when you compare Bitcoin, gold and silver, and we'll look at gold and silver in a second, but first I actually want to look more at the S&P 500 because that comparison is quite interesting, right? We're looking at weekly candles here, right? So we see what could end up being an uptrend for the S&P 500. You need to break above the January 30th high in order for that uptrend to be confirmed. So what's interesting is that Bitcoin has clearly broken way above the high that it made in January. It's literally in an indisputable uptrend, right? It's indisputable because you've only made higher highs and higher lows. And you compare that to S&P 500, and it's like, well, you have yet to make the most important higher high that you need to make. Now, because crypto is showing a lot of strength, and I'm considering the fact that crypto as a market is aware of something that's going to push the price significantly higher relatively soon, probably within 2023 would be my guess. So, with that in mind, I still do expect the S&P 500 to confirm this uptrend and break above that January 30th high before making another higher low, because I think that the broader markets will generally be bullish if crypto is going to be bullish. Now, why would crypto be bullish? Well, if you haven't heard about ISO 222, then I'm going to be the one to tell it to you, because this is a big deal for crypto. This is massive, and this has been going on for a while. I haven't talked about it in any of the white knuckles yet, but this is something that's this process began years ago, and it's being implemented this year, and the major implementation is occurring in June of this year. So that is interesting. So what is ISO 222? Well, let's just click on this first article here that comes up here, and let's just kind of read and see what this is. Okay, so these are the ISO 222 compliant cryptos. Okay, basically, what is this? Right, look at this, okay? So it's the growing adoption of cryptocurrencies, basically using cryptocurrencies to facilitate instant transactions all over the world. It's basically going to use cryptocurrencies to replace the SWIFT payment system as we currently know it, right? So it's using crypto to sort of do the work of the bad guys being, the people who are promoting centralization and central bank digital currencies, right? So they're going to use crypto to build their CBDCs, okay? So that's like, okay, here we go. We got like a huge like schism here, right? Because we want crypto to facilitate financial freedom, but at the same time, the powers that be are going to use crypto to facilitate their agenda, which is to actually centralize financial transactions. But what I will point out to you is that if the powers that be are going to use blockchain to facilitate their technology, well, they're going to have to work with the crypto market as it currently is. And it currently is decentralized, right? So we don't know how that's going to be resolved. But the point of showing you this ISO 222 thing is just to show you that there's going to be a lot of money flowing into the cryptocurrency market in 2023, because this ISO 222 thing is replacing the current international SWIFT payment system as we know it. That basically means that these cryptocurrencies right here, the ones that are compliant with this whole thing, they're basically just going to be scooped up by the people who currently are facilitating the SWIFT payment system. There's just going to be monstrous amounts of capital flowing specifically into these cryptocurrencies, and obviously that's going to overflow into the entire market. In the same way that in 2020, we had monstrous amounts of capital flowing into the crypto market via just money printing, right? So now we're going to have monstrous amounts of capital flowing into the crypto market via the powers that be, who are now basically going to try to scoop up as many of these coins as they possibly can to facilitate their new international instant transaction payment system, right? So this is something you want to check out on your own. Do your own research. Just look around for all the info you can possibly find on this and decide for yourself, is this a good thing or a bad thing? It's definitely a good thing in terms of like if you're holding crypto and you're holding any of these coins, and even other coins also, but if you're holding any of these coins and you're holding crypto in general, well, guess what? Get ready to white knuckle the ride to the moon, because you're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars flowing into the crypto market in 2023 to facilitate this process, right? But at the same time, this is part of the process of establishing the central bank digital currency system. So it's like, whoa, what are we to make of that? Well, as I've said before, what we're trying to do here is make a ton of money, right? So we can still follow the path of the whales in order to do that, even if the whales are doing something that maybe is not going to ultimately be good for us. We don't have to use their system, right? If we're going to get the capital that we need out of the market, well, once we have the capital, we don't have to participate in the central bank digital currency system, right? But we can use the process of integrating certain cryptocurrencies into that system as a way of making a ton of money. So that's the way that I see it. I do see this as being a huge bullish catalyst for crypto. And then you consider the fact that the triple halving of Ethereum, that hasn't hit the price action yet. So these are just more things adding up to the idea that crypto is set up to do some monstrously powerful upside moves in the very, very near future. I think in 2023, most likely. So that's why when you look at the charts, you're thinking like, why would Bitcoin be in such a strong uptrend compared to the other markets? Well, I just gave you one reason. And also, I think the Ethereum triple halving thing is a part of that as well. Like, there's just a lot of good supply and demand dynamics that are about to sort of catalyze what could end up being a very, very powerful bull run for crypto. And it could send, Bitcoin to, around that 53,000 level or potentially higher, because like I'm saying, it's going to be a lot of money flowing into the market, and there's really no telling how high certain assets will go within the market. But I do think it's safe to say that, this uptrend is sort of foreshadowing something pretty spectacular that's going to happen in the crypto market. And you just want to be aware of that. You want to look up this ISO 222 thing for yourself, see what you make of it. See if you think it should be a bullish catalyst. I certainly do. I certainly think it should be a majorly bullish catalyst, in the same way that I think the Ethereum triple halving is a majorly bullish catalyst. It might take time, for the price to reflect this supply reduction, this demand increase, but it's just basic supply and demand. You reduce supply, you increase demand. What happens to price? That's what's going on here. You're reducing the supply of Ethereum, and you're about to create a massive demand for Ethereum, because these altcoins here that are listed here, many of these are constructed on the Ethereum blockchain, if not all of them. I'm not sure if all of them are. I don't really know. But the idea is that you are going to create massive demand for Ethereum if these coins are about to be scooped up, right? So it's like you reduce the supply of Ethereum exponentially. You're now about to increase the demand for it exponentially. Yeah, like buckle up, get your white knuckles out, because this is going to be a rocket ride, I think. So in this time that we're currently in, I don't know, it's choppy. It's a pullback. It's an uptrend. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the immediate future holds, but I do think that all signals are pointing for like, buy these dips, kid. Like whenever the crypto market starts to get really scared, show up with your capital and start buying, like literally. All right, let's just look at the DXY, because DXY once again is giving that same signal of just weakness, straight up weakness. It has an opportunity coming up here to make some kind of bounce, and maybe it can bounce. Like maybe this is the start of the bounce. I don't know, but I'm telling you, this trend line here, this trend line we've been watching here, this one, I mean, look at this thing, right? Price really is reacting to it. And I think it's going to be very difficult for price to hold above that trend line, really. So currently that trend line is confluent with the inverse 0.5 Fibonacci. So I think that whole area is just going to be very, very difficult for the dollar to break above. It may break above there, temporarily, and then we would get some more pullback, some more buying opportunity. But it's like, I just don't think it's going to be able to hold above this area for any significant amount of time. I just think it's really weak. And I think that's all sort of like playing into this idea that we're transitioning out of the current currency system and moving towards this digital currency system, which, that's not only good. There are bad things about that. Like, I'm not an advocate for central bank digital currencies, but I am an advocate for capital flowing out of the world reserve currency into the cryptocurrency market, right? So it's like, that's what I see going on here. I just see like a lack of trust in the dollar at this point. This kind of weakness is like, it's telling you that there's a bit of a paradigm shift going here. I didn't even expect it to be as weak as it currently is. All right, so let's look at gold for a second, because I just want to keep pointing out here that gold is showing something as well when we compare it to sort of the uptrend that crypto's in. It's like they're both in very, very strong uptrends. And the question is, what does that mean? Why is it that crypto and gold and silver are all really strong and stronger than the rest of the markets? I think that's just kind of painting the picture of the dollar is in serious trouble. That's what I think it means. We're just coming into a phase here where there's a strong use case for alternative currencies in general. So you look at gold and you see this huge, powerful uptrend, but it's like, once again, gold not as clearly strong as crypto, right? Gold hasn't broken above. Well, it did. It broke slightly above the January high, slightly, but it's like, once again, what am I saying about Bitcoin? Look at the January high from Bitcoin. It's way above. So once again, it's like you're looking for your alternative currencies, to store your money. It's like there's one clear choice that has the most clearly defined uptrend, and it just happens to be crypto. It's like, what? That's crazy. That's actually crazy. So I just think it's one of those things where the market is sort of seeing into the future, and it's anticipating a lot of things that are going to put upward pressure on price. And I think ISO 222 is one of those things. I think the Ethereum triple halving is like a sleeping, dormant money volcano that's waiting to explode. And it's just like, that's what this uptrend it sort of represents, at least to me. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about right now. I'm pretty excited for crypto. I'm pretty bullish, and I'm looking for a bigger pullback than this. First level for me to be buying crypto, just to reiterate, is going to be that 23,000 level, that first inverse Fibonacci. But then after that, if it goes below, I'm not panicking, right? I'm not panicking unless it breaks below, 16,000. I guess then I'd be like, but I wouldn't be panicking. I would honestly just buy more because of the fundamental catalyst. Like, I don't really care, but I'm looking for those. I'm looking for between 20 and 23,000 to start accumulating a whole lot more crypto. I'll feel very, very comfortable buying in that area, because that's going to be the higher low off of potentially what may turn out to be the bear market low. So that's good news. I'm excited. You guys got to be earning so that you can be buying, right? Because that's this is likely going to be the altcoin season setup that we've been looking for now. It's almost been 3 years. Like, it's been almost an entire 3 years that we've been expecting a lot of these altcoins to take off, and I think we're setting up for that. The perfect conditions, right? It's like going to be absolutely nuts. So that's what I got for you guys. Hope you're doing well out there. Hope you've been white knuckling, and look forward to buying those dips, kid. Good.